reckon I just go, g'day, I think that's Nick. You go, oh, I believe, I think that's Dave, and then bang, you can do the intro.
Sounds good, man.
And then we'll just wing it.
All right, hang on. I'm going to get into character. Here we go. Is that you, Dave?
Are you Nick?
I'm Nicontrast. You're Digby.
Yeah.
This is our podcast, right?
It is. It'll be the first two guys that hate each other ever to do a podcast.
Nicontrast, whatever you call yourself. Let's get it on. Meet you at the border.
I'll meet you at the border. If you got a beef with me, I got a beef with you.
Everything needs to calm down. We need to take a bit of back step here. That's a picture of him there.
Cute.
What the... Okay, the fight's back on, buddy.
You're lucky you're on the other side of the country, mate. That's all I'm saying.
We're putting this, us two professionals are trying a podcast and putting this together. So we've got a whole bunch of things we're going to do. We're going to be trying to rack up some interviews. We're going to be talking about subjects. We want to get some nice footage on here. Digby's been around Australia on a trip twice, and his recent trip was epic, absolutely epic, along with Jaqs. And I don't know, man. Tell us a few things about that trip. That was incredible to watch.
Yeah, no, it was awesome, absolutely awesome. Even with all the thunderstorms and hailstones and God knows what. But yeah, that was a 51 day trip.
Wow.
The one before that, the year before that, I think I was on the road for about 70 days.
They're epic travels, man. What's one of the favourite things in your trip that you remember?
Well, as much as we got rained on, it was the roads that needed to be dry were dry. So Harndorf was a highlight. We had a good day there with the sunshine. Then the Great Ocean Road was dry, but cold. And then the Blue Mountains through, which I believe you stuck your nose in and said,
Bell's Line of Roads.
Go through the Blue Mountains. What road is it?
Bell's Line of Road, I think it's called.
Well, yeah, down from Bathurst, yeah?
Yeah, that's a beauty.
Yeah, I thought you were setting me up, but it ended up being pretty good.
Yeah, I wouldn't set you up, Digby.
No, never. No, and Putty Road after that. So.
Oh yeah.
And we felt good after that, but then we hit the Gold Coast and then just down on us. But yeah, it is what it is. Even the worst trip on a motorcycle is better than any day at work.
You had an epic trip. That was just incredible, like what you guys went through and the distance you went and everything. We've put together a little stab of all this, a little sort of summary video. We should throw to that.
Absolutely. You did a pretty good job at that, mate. I'll give you credit there. So I'm starting to maybe, lean towards not being so nasty to you.
I'll tell you the secret, though, was that, you've tried to edit together, 30, 40 hours of footage into 10 episodes of like half an hour or even longer each. I just went and got all the best little bits and put them into 1 minute. I just did all the easy bits, mate.
That's... No, I'm not going to say it.
Oh, cherry picking is the word you're looking for. But one thing I really like about it is that you're showing riding, you're showing places, You're showing happy times, you're showing the difficult bits, you're showing emotions, there's story, but you're not making the story. It's just the story happens, but you're not shy to share that story. I think it's a great series, man. It's got a real wide breadth to it and a real honesty about it.
Are you coming on to me?
Mate, I'm just practicing to be a politician.
I can just see a twinkle in your eye, that's all. No. You've been on a couple of trips yourself, mate. So you've just done one today, yeah?
Yeah, just met up with Spencer, Anxiety Wizard channel, and we went riding for half a day and did a bit of stuff. That was pretty cool. He's an amazing guy. It's the second time I met him, and he makes some great videos, that's for sure. But today, that was yesterday. Today I've ridden Barham to, I don't remember the name of the place, but somewhere further to the east. And I ended up finding an old bridge that was like 100 years old. It had sort of fallen apart and everything, crossing the Murray River after about 20 kilometres of dirt road. It was a real nice find.
I was going to ask you just for yourself, so people know. I obviously know about me because I got millions of subs and hits and stuff, and there's it's a household name these days. Nick is Nick, isn't it?
Kelvinator, Sharp, Digby.
How many bikes have you got? Have you got some scattered around?
Yeah, I have. I've got a bike in Sydney. Well, really in Wollondilly. I've got a bike that's currently sorry?
What did you say?
Oh, I've got a bike in the Wollondilly, which is...
Mate, Nick, I'll just stop you there for a sec. If you're going to make shit up, try and come up with a name that at least sounds like it's real.
I got another one in Wangaratta. There's another one in Wagga Wagga. There's another one in Nuruyupta. Australian town names are legendary.
We got a suburb here called Inaloo. I'm not joking. Yeah, Inaloo Shopping Centre. It's Inaloo. I kid you not. I apologise for interrupting and what have you.
I've got a bike at home, which is in the Wollondilly. I've got another one, which has just spent the last 4 months. It's a real place, Digby. Oh, Digby, a segment. Is it a real Australian town name or not? And what we do is we come up with a name that we make up, and we come up with another name that's real.
No, I like it. Yeah. I've been pretty happy with the GoPro10. I know some people said they've got visual. I just put it on 2.7K, 60 frames a minute. It seems to work for me at the moment because most people say it's no point putting it on 4K because you can't download it at 4K anyway.
Oh, no, it's not true. You can download it at 4K, but 2.7 is all you need to tip YouTube into the higher resolution state.
That's it.
Yeah, so that's hitting the spot right there.
Oh, okay, yeah, because I believe YouTube doesn't do 4K.
It does, but it chooses when to do it. I read about this. It's an odd thing. YouTube does, just because you say I want 4K video, right? When you press the button and you say 4K, it doesn't just say I'm going to deliver you 4K and that's all. It's literally making the decision for you based on the resolution of your screen, based on your internet speed. Obviously, we all know that happens, but it's also doing things like the resolution of your screen and thinking, I don't need to send 4K to this person, so I'm not gonna. It really surprised me, but they actively get involved in what the choice is instead of just delivering you what you ask for.
Right. Okay. Yeah. It is, and I even noticed, even with Million Dollar Bogan, all the top ones, if you watch their premieres as they're premiering, is that a word? Premiering?
Yeah. We'll just say it's a word.
Yeah, it's a word, and it is now that Digby said it. So
Digby's dictionary.
That's right. Can't even speak the English language. If you watch those, and even if they've just put one up and it's normal, the resolution, especially when it's filming ahead into movement, is on anybody's. It's apparently it can take 20 minutes to 2 hours on YouTube before that resolution clears up.
Yep.
That's why a
Yep.
lot of people say download your video onto YouTube,
Schedule
make
it
it
later.
private,
Absolutely.
leave it, and then you open it up to.
I do that as a matter of course these days. I'll wait because you've got little markers these days that show you that it's been processed up to 4K. But even then, I let that go for like another half hour before I make that video actually go. Absolutely, because that thing you're talking about, where it's really blurry into the road, that's that algorithm or compression algorithm that is kicking in for videos up to 1080p, and then videos above 1080p kick in the second algorithm, which is much better at providing that detail into the future, or into the road up ahead. That's that thing. That's why I'm always uploading in 4K. It's not really because I think the resolution matters. It's because I want to ensure that I'm kicking in that algorithm that's not just going to make all that weird blockiness.
But okay, so then how? Because obviously, if you're using 4K on GoPro, the battery's going faster. It's going. How long are you getting out of it?
I've got no idea, but it's not enough, and I don't have any wiring to plug in. I don't run like a charger on the bike, so I'm literally just going, oh well, that battery stopped. And the thing is, I've also got my 360 camera that's perched on my handlebars like a parrot, and I can turn that on. So sometimes when I see that the GoPro has run out of battery, I just turn on the 360 and that sort of gets me to my next stop, and then I can swap batteries and things. But I don't know how long I get. I'd guess probably half an hour, 40 minutes.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I'm getting. But and I'm learning more and more. I mean, there's still stuff on that trip I just did that I just went, why didn't I do this? Why didn't I do that? Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But if you listen to Daniel Hayes, as much as I take in what I like about his stuff and learn, and if there's stuff people complain too much, and it's like, well, mate, you're not paying anything for it. If he's bullshitting a bit, then let it go.
Yeah. Why does it matter so much to people?
Some of that footage he gets, and when he goes, I mean, hats off to him.
And the journeys he's on, the places he goes, and the things he never has to think, what would have happened if I actually tried to do it? He never has to think that. I don't know why people give him such a hard time.
But it's people's nature. They want to shoot down anybody that they feel is making it. That, what do they call that? Poor cocky syndrome.
Well, so I just thought of something. It's not even all people, and we say it's people, but it's not really people. Someone told this to me years ago. I think it's a really good way to think of it. It's not people. It's just that it's just loud people at the bus stop, and they get more attention than the people who aren't the loud people at the bus stop. And it's easy to think that's what all people think, but it's just these idiots who are shouting at the bus stop instead of just doing life like the rest of us. Most people don't feel that way.
Yeah. No, I get you. Yeah, you're exactly right. And that's why I only commentated on Daniel's last one that he did through whatever. I don't normally commentate on his things. I just watch it, like it, blah, blah, blah. But I did put on there, and he never responds because he's got too many of them anyway. But
Yeah, of course.
I said, look, hats off to you, mate. I said, whatever you do, I said, it's inspired me. I've learned things from it. And, he gives little hints out every now and then. And what I was getting at was, I remember him saying that he's learned to click the GoPro on in short bits. So, he'll do it.
Yeah.
And then he'll press it off. That way, he's only got little clips to find, where if you've had it filming, as you know, for 15 minutes, and then you get back to your room, or when you're going to do some editing, you've got to sort of go, I know something happened here and here and there, but where is it? Where is it? That takes you
Absolutely.
forever to find. And then you go, was it in that section?
Yeah. There's 4 hours of footage you've got to flip through.
Yeah, he tries to have lots of little bang. But I don't know whether you do. Do you have yours on voice control?
No, I don't use voice control. I've got two systems that work really well for this problem. I have a stopwatch, and I had to find this stopwatch specifically, but I can show you. So I have this stopwatch, and this sits on my bike, and it's a special stopwatch that has a 50 lap timer. You know how you can...
Oh, stop the press.
Yep.
I just went up another sub, 358.
Excellent, mate. Hey, the
Hang on,
podcast is working already.
Hang on. Oh, you're still at 293, mate.
Whoever it is didn't subscribe to me.
But you're only 7 away from 400, man. Anyway, so let's get back to your timer. So
this timer, man, this is gold. This is gold, because what the problem is you wind up with all this footage and you don't know where the bits were that you wanted to find and things you wanted to remember. What I do is I just have the cameras running. This is on the bike. It's got a lap timer on it. I had to find this one. It was hard to find. It's got 50 lap timers. So I can press this. I start the timer running when I start the camera. And then when I'm riding along, you know, you see something like, look at that thing on the roof of that house. That's unbelievable, you know. And I just press the button and it's like 8 minutes in. And then I press the button, 23 minutes in. And then when I'm doing my editing, I just go 8 minutes in. Oh yeah, that's cool. 23, that's not worth it.
So hang on. All right. So you go along. I understand there that you can look at that and go, I look 8 minutes into the film, but you've got to start the timer again, don't you?
Yeah. So when I pull up and I turn the cameras off, I'll stop the timer.
Right. So, but you said if you've got several things that you've seen.
Oh, yeah. So it's a lap timer thing, right? So what it is when people are running laps, they want to compare their lap time. So you start the timer when they start running. When they finish the first lap, you hit the lap timer. And then they finish the second lap, you hit it again. And it's recording those times when you press the lap timer button. Most of these only do like 8 laps because they don't expect people to need to track more than like 8 laps. But this one does 50, which means I can sort of click it 50 times and just get all these little points in the video that I know. Yeah. And that takes all your editing time down massively.
For the guy who looks as silly as you, that's impressive.
I like saving time, man. Well, what I wanted to ask you, Digby, is that you just recently changed the oil on your motorcycle, your Indian, and you've been getting it serviced at shops every time in the past, but it was sort of a change. You decided to do it yourself, and I sort of wanted to ask what you reckon about changing your own oil, changing your own air filter, changing your own, maybe doing your own brakes, doing your own tappets, that sort of stuff, versus getting it done by the shop.
There's 2 reasons why I decided to start servicing the bike. One is the cost in the shops is just getting out of hand, especially place where I got it done on the trip recently or whatever. I don't know what happened there. I won't go into details or mention anyone's names at this point, but it was just ridiculous. But one thing is I'm lazy. I couldn't be bothered. The one I'd like to say is the main reason is that I want to provide business for the businesses that are out there. I ride Indian, obviously, and I think it's good to support them. Take your bike in, get it tuned up, get it oil changed, and all the rest of it, and keep that going. I've gone past that now. The fortunate way is that my bike, the Indians, are very, very easy to service.
Yeah, right.
So they're just one big sump. I'm talking 5.2 litres of oil. So I went from the Indian oil, which you can buy the kit for changing the thing, but I've done it, did the air filter, did the oil filter, obviously, and she's running great. So, I mean, I was quite proud of myself, really. I got some oil on my hands and stuff. The missus was,
she was pretty impressed.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. She actually talked to me that night. So I thought, she's impressed. But I've got to the point now where the garage is getting done up and what have you, and I'm getting more stuff. And luckily I've got guys close by, well, not that close by, but that have serviced their bikes their whole life and just take me through the roll. And then once you've done it the one time, it's away you go. So it's pretty simple. So I recommend it. I think most people probably do their services on their own bikes. I don't know about yourself.
I don't know.
I mean, I do my own servicing for like oil, air filters. I don't touch the brakes, and you know, just your basic sort of liquid changes, I guess, whatever you call them, oil changes. But I tried about a year ago to do the tappets on a bike. I have an old bike which needs the tappets done every 5,000 Ks, and I get tired of taking that to a mechanic. And the amount of swearing, blood, thrown objects, broken things, things I needed to replace because they weren't supposed to break, it was just off the scale. It took me so much time, and I just thought there's a certain limit where I don't want to ever do that again.
Anything engine-wise, you got to be forget that. It's not worth it. The brakes, funny enough, I did with the help of a friend. Did the front pads. Even though there was some technical little fiddly little bit things, it's actually easy, very easy.
Yeah.
The disc would be a different story. There'd be probably a little bit more work to that. The back brakes, especially on mine, because of all the fairing saddlebags, that would probably be a little bit of work and would need to be, you know, jacked up. But
Disc or drums on the back of the Indian?
Sorry?
Disc or drum on the back of the Indian?
Yeah. Disc at the front, double disc at the front. I don't.
Digby, I was starting to believe you're an expert.
There's brakes of some sort. They might be the Flintstone brakes. You know, you used to put your heel on the back bike of the BMX to slow you down. Thanks to everybody for jumping over and seeing our first podcast, and much appreciated. To the Motor Talk with Dave, Nic and Dave. And what do you reckon about that?
Bye, everyone.
You're a charmer. Cheers, mate.
Good to see you.